And I like that. I like that about this kind of place where everybody's pretty real. So it's called Wet Blue in a Tannery town. And it's wet blue is a tanning process that uses chromium 3 or 5 to process leather from the rawhide to finished leathers. This process causes the semi-finished leather to look blue tinted. It replaced the old wood tannic acid method as it removed hair, fat, and flesh. Instead of just tanning, it's slippery and difficult to handle and was fed into huge rolling presses to flatten the hides. So the men who did it wore gloves, but the gloves got caught and the gloves made a big mess out of everything. And so it was just a matter of time before they threw the gloves away, and then their arms got defatted and dehydrated and basically turned into gloves. It's got an epigram. Richard Russo in his hometown of Gloversville, New York. Everybody lived pretty near the edge of unemployment, lunacy, bankruptcy, of potentially hazardous ignorance, of despair. And he's talking about the time when things were changing from tannic acid to hexavalent blue. Ode to the Northeast Rest Belt. Wet blue in a tannery town, snug with a familiarity of waking and working in the daily wash of it all. Train whistles blow. Stoic wet men, wet with work deep in the hexavalent blue of chromium, while weary women map the milk-wet blue topography of an opened cotton blouse. As they sit window-sided and woozy, working too, just semi-awakened, endlessly dampened with letdown. That singular soak of the need to feed. But all is waking and working, where small-town nights bleed soot as a verb, thick into late-night winter, black as melted snow, in the collective gutter where it runs, dead as trapped as it carries all the other certainties as applied miracles. But here, the shroud of winter's gray may be rent momentarily, exposing a smooth, sparkling, slick, a crude aurora peeking from beneath some truck's rusted oil pan. As suddenly as spring starts, pulling away from the melted tether of an icy curb, reflecting all in the past and present eyes of humans for 2,600 years. Exposing the collective memory repeated in the absurdity of this random chance of this particular puddle's encounter with the flooding of time, with the Lyriad's perennial production of other constructions, equally formed of ice and grit, producing more that no one here will ever notice. Shifts just change. Machines just hum, or eventually don't. Expectation is both fanned and muted by distance and the persistent idea that he, the boy, will grow out of it. Murmured as mantra, still the goods arrive daily. Delivery of raw hides, once thrown through the train's high windows of the old beam house, only drip hair and fat. As vibration from ever-turning drums spew predictable plumes, proclaiming portent, all at once, a stew of birth, life, death, all rolled out flat as a supple salted victory. Asleep in the horsehair chair, too stiff to be flat, Uncle Max breathes, equally broken breath, fiber as forgiving and supple as fine ladies' gloves, once crafted here by his grandfather, a proud trait of skin, his own, now genetically sloughs from his hands, bones, fingered flesh, as forbearing as the frustration on that first afternoon when he had finally pulled off the fumble, tossing aside the fruitless gloves, admitting the inevitable uselessness of his rubber protection, and then, with his bare hands, he had pulled through the last hung-up hide of the day. blue with chrome, wet and acid defined as that hide. He had gone home, slept, soft, hairless as summer, enveloped in evening's indigo, hung overhead in the 40-watt savings of an incandescent glow. All is eventually put where it belongs, one atop the other, one more tanned hide, here, where babies cry, rivers blue with their testaments set through searching nitrate lips, suckling disinterested nipples, noticing as the radios pop, as invisible as megahertz, propped against heat, hot as August airless nights, filled with static from Detroit, pumping out some other petroleum accidents twisted into sound, an accidental flicker of another sort. Playtime, where payola-based, in nickel-plated twilight, rhythmic as any industrial piston, steam tongue, men and their women twitch like fingers on the holes of a flute, blowing blue, notes over the street, 1 per second, repeat, over and over, making it the slow way to the last whistles that deliver. Along with the milkers and the 532 that chugs upgrade on only the dead breath of some other dinosaurs, slowly up the Susquehanna Valley to its watery confluence with Charlotte Creek. Pick up the double-headed axe of all that is waking and working. The sun breaks, even the fog.